Okay, we've got 3 radiators, a white one, a black one, and a silver one. First question, explain why radiators are made of metal. 2 marks. Okay, what do we know about metals? Metals are good conductors of heat. Okay, so why are radiators made of metal? Radiators are made of metal because metals are good conductors of heat. However, it's a 2-mark question, okay? And it feels like a 1-mark question. So you've got to use exam technique to squeeze out that 2nd mark. And it's not easy, you know? I used to hate these questions when I was at school because it's not obvious where that 2nd mark comes from. So what you've got to try and do is just say as much as you can, as much as you can think of. Expand on what you've already said. So radiators are made of metal because metals are good conductors of heat. Therefore, something like when the hot water enters the radiator, the thermal energy will be conducted through the metal to the surface so it can heat the air in the room quickly. Okay, something like that. That will get you the 2 marks. Okay? Like I say, I hate these sort of questions. You've just got to say as much as you can to get that 2nd mark. Okay? Right, next question. Explain which colour is best at radiating thermal energy. 2 marks again. Another really annoying question. It should really be a 1-mark question. Okay, well, you've just got to use your knowledge here. Okay? I hope you've learned that black is the colour that's best at radiating thermal energy. Okay? In fact, black is the colour that's best at absorbing and radiating thermal energy. Okay, but it's a 2-mark question and you've got to explain which colour is best at radiating thermal energy. Well, at GCSE, you're not really told why black is best at radiating thermal energy. So I'm not quite sure how you're expected to explain it. So again, you've just got to use exam technique and do whatever you can to extract that 2nd mark. Okay, so which colour is best at radiating thermal energy? You'd say something like, the black radiator is best at radiating thermal energy because black is better than lighter colours such as white or silver at emitting thermal radiation energy. Okay? There's not much more you can do than that. Like I say, you don't at GCSE have to know the details of why black is better, so you can't really explain it. You've just got to sort of regurgitate everything you know. Again, it's exam technique and incredibly annoying. So focus on what the question's asking. It's saying which colour is best at radiating thermal energy. So it's not talking about absorbing. Yes, black is better than white at absorbing, but just focus on the fact that black is good at emitting thermal radiation. That's all you can do. Okay. Right, next question. Explain how convection heats a room and use a diagram. 4 marks. Okay. It strongly advises, or the question suggests using a diagram, and I strongly advise you use a diagram. Okay, nothing wrong with the diagram. You're never going to lose marks using a diagram. Okay. Right, 4 marks. How convection heats a room. So, here's our room. Let's put in the radiator there, okay? And label it. Right. So, 4 marks, mini essay question, if you like. These sort of questions, try and do things in chronological order, okay? So, what I mean by that is try and use the word therefore rather than because. So this happens, therefore this, therefore this, therefore this. It's better to do that than say, this is the answer because this, and work backwards. Okay, So, first thing, the radiator heats the surrounding air by, well, how does it heat the surrounding air? By, well, we've been talking about radiation, by radiation and of course it also does it by being in physical contact with the air, which means that's conduction. Okay? Good. Next. Actually, let's make these bullet points. Nothing wrong with using bullet points in your answer, okay? Right. Radiator heats surrounding air by radiation and conduction. Warm air is less dense than cooler air. Okay? We can say a little bit more here if you're really desperate to get those 4 marks. Less dense than cool air. Something like warm air particles move faster than cool particles and are further apart. I told you to use the word therefore rather than because, and I've just broken my own rule there. But that's because this bit occurred to me after this bit. It would have been better to say warm air particles move faster than cool particles and are further apart. Therefore, warm air is less dense than cooler air. Okay? But I'm not perfect. Okay. Therefore, the warm air rises above the cool air. Okay? So we'll put this on the diagram in a minute. No, let's do it now. Why not? Okay, so it's heating up the air around it. So that's the warm air. Label it. Okay? And that rises up here. Okay. Right, therefore the warm air rises above the cool air. What's going to happen? The cool air moves towards the radiator to replace the warm air. So cool air moves into the radiator, I guess, because it's got a gap in the middle, moves, let's say, towards radiator to replace the cool air, to replace the warm air, to replace warm air. Okay, well, we're well on the way to 4 marks. We've got the 4 marks already there. And you could just finish off by saying this sets up a convection current. There you go. That will definitely get you your 4 marks. Okay, so finish off the diagram. So the air sort of moves like this. If you've got time, you could even say that the cooler air up here sinks down. That's probably not necessary. That's more than enough. Okay, good. Right, last question. Suggest how a radiator can be designed to help maximize heat transfer by convection. 1 mark, mercifully, finally. Okay. Right, so what design do we want in a radiator to maximize heat transfer by convection? Well, okay, here's a radiator. A radiator has to heat up the air surrounding it effectively, and the greater the surface area of the radiator, the better it will be heating up the air. So the design we're going to go with is one that maximizes the surface area. So if you look down a radiator, you'll see it's made of lots of veins like this with a gap in between. So the design you want is a design that maximizes surface area. So, well, that's your 1 mark. You want to maximize surface area, quick diagram like that maybe, and say something like, the greater the surface area, the better the radiator can heat up the surrounding air by conduction, because it's in thermal contact with the air. That's a lot for 1 mark, but that'll definitely get you the mark, okay? So the cool air comes in here and rises up, the warm air leaves there. Right, that question was a bit of a pain. I'm glad it's over. So to summarise, extracting 2 marks out of 1 mark questions is a skill that you need to be good at, exam technique. So I hope that helped. Thank you for watching. I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, please click the like button, and it would be a massive help if you could subscribe. It would also be amazing if you could support me on Patreon. All the papers and everything are on my website, drjem.com, and I'm also on social media. Thank you.